Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovative, and amazing, spectacular, wondrous Propagandacast. Me, your host, Imperial Ding, the one, the only master of propaganda, hero like defender of the fatherland, your lord and master, your vox popular in the north. It is Stark, fighting for King Country, the Commonwealth, the British Army, rolling out here with the 11th Armoured Division, featuring special weapons, Lend, Lease Assault, and Mobile Assault. With triple infantry, west and south, it is Ashablois, fighting for the Oberkommand West, Germany, Deutschland, taking on the role here of the 9th Panzer Division with Overwatch, featuring Jaegers. Early warning systems for the fatherland, the howitzer, and sector assault versus Lend-Lease Assault, which has the mortar team, the assault infantry sections, M10 Achilles tank destroyer, the M5 half-track, and the vehicle repairs. Also, technically, the British didn't call them tank destroyers, they called them self-propelled anti-tank guns. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters, these champions, these heroes of the Propagandacast who keep me in the business. You too can join their wondrous ranks by pledging on Patreon. Or you can always just donate, links in the video description. And I'll let you know, comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button, all that. Anyways, we've got double full screen here versus double section and the assault section here for Stark, setting out there with a section fully equipped with the British submachine gun, the Sten gun. Sandbags in the east. Ground in the west point, had a slight reputation around not being particularly reliable, though apparently they also had some fans within the German army as someone actually grabbed the Sten gun, mostly because they could actually fight from a prone position due to the fact the magazine sticks out to the side rather than downwards. Sturmpionier catching the second western fuel point, but not really great position to assault into. He's probably better off right now as your blood to push for the eastern fuel point instead. But could of course try and push through and grab the western fuel point from the British. We shall see what Azure Blood does. Third focus on the way there for the Germans. Second assault section here. It's not a super common build, but it is a build some British players utilize. And again, it does allow us to get more aggressive sections. And of course, in terms of timing, again, it is much more aggressive since there's no build time. Again, it's the sort of reason again why people go for Ostrom, assault grenadiers, and all the other things. It's a matter of timing here. You get out something much faster. And as you can see, the assault section packs quite a punch as well there. It's right here as you blow off to a bit of a rough start. 2 squads already depleted. Meanwhile, only one section has been routed in comparison. That's not great there for the Germans. That is not great. Got to the section here. Need to reinforce the others. Getting in the kill here, each on their own. Meanwhile, on the parts we got movement here. Full squad will be encountering the assault section soon. That's likely to be a win there for Stark as well. So Stark is off to a really strong start here versus the Germans, and Ashablois will have to do some heavy work here to turn the game around against the British. And there goes shots fired here in the east. Assault section pursuing. Lawrence though drops it. Folks, they're trying to keep good distance, but that's a bit difficult in the end. Assault section close. Still down to 3 men. Might have a chance here. It looks like the Fultz Committee it's going to be a close one. Assault section over the Sten guns ultimately overpowered. The Fultz Committee is up with 2 men and win the engagement in the west. Center here, Sturm punch around the section there finally. Other troops bring up there, but again, Asher is taking quite a few beatings here from the British in the early game. Every engagement almost results in, them being routed rather than the British, and they have very few cases where they sort of really push it. We've got trench to the west here for Stark. Truck out there for Ashablois. I would expect maybe a mechanized regiment here. Could also be Belgrave headquarters. But while they're in the sandbags, we got the assault sector moving forward here for the British Army. Ready to hose down some Germans. East folks moving up here, going to proper counter-attack towards the fuel point to keep the Tommies off. It's assault in charge of the Storm Pioneers here. Going to be close here, right there. The Storm Pioneers actually have the slight upper hand. Actually, no. Apparently, the submachine guns on the assault sector perform more like assault rifles than say the MP40s and assault grenadiers. Oh, and a wipe at that. Ooh, that's quite painful there for Ashablois. That is quite painful and definitely a good win here for Stark in the early game. Ashablois, of course, has to replace it since whatever they're planning, they're going to need them for mines, sweeping for mines, and of course repairing whatever vehicles they're likely going to go for in response here to the Germans.
Infantry squad trained and ready to go.
And lost an assault section, but is of course quick to replace it there. Still, I guess that's a small win there for Ashablois here versus Stark. So on the point we see with the section. So far, Ashablois holding up, but it is not coming out some casualties. Meanwhile, we also got to take up here for Stark. Maybe, oh yeah, got the Thompsons on the way there, increasing the firepower further. Also opens up for the white phosphorus grenade.
Capture point is being overrun.
And yeah, second assault section all being cooked there with the Thompson submachine guns, or at least a few added onto them. go. Falcon is falling back as they stand no chance against that. Meanwhile, Tracker sets up here for Ashablois. Here by the car point, we got section quick around here as they encounter a large number of German troops up north here. Assault section is the Falcon. This Thompson's almost ready. There we go, plan hunting it off to try and stop them in and do some damage. Still, once the Thompson's in, I think that's going to be very much GG. And there we go, forced retreat. No chance against the stun guns and the Thompsons. And we can see they're almost a full wipe on the Fultons. In fact, that is a full wipe. I know they were charging in with less health than the Fultons when more or less full health in heavy cover, and they still just absolutely demolished them. Assault sections are quite powerful, particularly once they get the Thompsons. That'd be like an assault reviews could suddenly get like a bunch of assault rifles, except those assault rifles work a bit better than the standard assault rifles because for reasons in terms of the in-game stats, the Thompson can actually outperform the Sturmgewehr 44. Yeah, don't ask me. Anyways, the section moving about here, up north point having ceased, advancing steadily for the British Army. Mechanized Regiment Ashablois is probably going to go for a Puma to turn this around. Right now it's down just to 3 scores, having suffered 2 wipes in the early game. Actually, I think they suffered more than that. Oh, just 2 wipes. Meanwhile, Stark has lost 1 assault section, but compared to the loss of the Germans, that is, I think, less pressing. Particularly the British can much better carry momentum compared to the others. And oh boy, we get a half-track out here for Stark. The M5 half-track. We'll have to see if they equip with the anti-aircraft guns, so they're just going to use to transport to support the infantry, which would, quite frankly, also be very powerful. Ashablois here replacing some of the losses with the Jaegers, getting the D for the fees, very much a standard choice there. Prime reason why so many players keep Overwatch in their load-ups is to deal with British forces, since the Jaegers are very much your best bet, since you know they can circumvent somewhat of the British infantry section's bulletproofness. After the takes a Panzerfaust hit, small win there for Ashablois, and the 9th Panzer Division after community head here, 5th Califying win at the front of it. Letting to undo Ashablois defensively to the fuel cannon. Still, Pioneers are taking an absolute brow beating, and Ashablois is going to have to concede ground here. Could try and swing around, hit for the western fuel point now. Might be the best idea, to be honest, in particular since Stark has no way of repairing the half-track anytime soon. Assault section moving up here. Really rough start there for Ashablois. This is definitely one of the tougher ones. Sappers on the way there for Stark. Obviously need those to fix up the M5 half-track. Troop reinforcing healing. Got the western point there.
Where do you need us?
Again, could be tempted to go for the looks of as the British that'll, you know, typically get hard swatted down by the AC Mark III. So the Puma here will be the better choice, and that can deal with the AC, can also deal with the half-track. And while it's not amazing against infantry, it's not terrible either. So it tends to be, like, you know, the decent choice there. Then we've got the section moving up here. We've got the pyrotechnic supplies handed out. Oh, pyrotechnics. Doesn't mean what you think it means, Gerald. Really? Yes. Oh. Puma almost done. Assault section moving about. Then again, that is a large amount of firepower here that Stark can bring to bear against Ashablois. After good to go. Getting upgrade with the port mount. Trench occupied with the Jaegers. Bit of standoff here with the western fuel. Of course, could try and chuck artillery at it. Oh, we got the 234-2 for Ashablois and the Germans. After they upgraded, very good. Puma setting out. Foxman holding up as well there. Probably some upgrades on the way as well. The Sturmgewehr 44. And there we go. Got us a little on there. Flanking up behind. Jaegers joining in. Got the half engaging the Fulton, suppressing the entire force there of infantry under Ashablois' command. And falling back here in the east. Pretty bad move for the Germans who barely have any map control. Stark is in control of the map there. It is ruled Britannia. Hard biscuits. And really bland food for the entire sector on the menu. 6 fighter gun on the way there for Stark to help deal with the Puma, since the anti-aircraft half-track, unless Stark gets really lucky, is probably going to cut it. But right now, Stark is just moving to secure most of it can. Could lay down some changes here and there. Might of course also get addition. But right now, Asher is down to just effectively 1 point that is connected. The rest is either being seized with the British or being cut off. That is one hell of a bad development here for Ashablois. Puma getting the assault section there. Folks was jumping up and catching the sappers there. Yeah, sappers being around here. Puma moving up and getting the section there. Shoots and misses. Hits a branch instead. Assaulting to do with the infantry, very good there. Assault's being focused down by the sheer number of German infantry, and there you go. White phosphorus grenade straight into one of the units. Brutal. Also caught in it, actually. This is great there for Ashablois that Stark's men got caught in it, so that of course they take a lot of damage. But in this case, can't finish them off, but imagine if they could have. After listening in to get up some hits, but could opens up as an opportunity, target opportunity here for the Puma, but no, gets away just in time. And Ashablois here is also, I think, a bit more cautious about diving in too fast. Probably worried about the possibility of mines or sappers hiding around with anti-tank grenades, which of course could spell a fast destroyed Puma, which would be devastating for Ashablois and the Germans. Finding on the west point again. Routed there. Also got an enemy for Ashablois to help deal with Stark's infantry. Meanwhile, Stark has not really brought up any machine guns for something to help control the terrain as well versus Ashablois, and could at some point maybe consider Vickers besides the half to result of suppressive fire. Folks, they're suppressed. Section routed. Reinhard Granada proving to be the tool to evict the Tommies. We got the 6-pound government on the Puma. Second Jaeger squad up the centre. Sadly, Ash is a bit short miniatures, we can't equip those with the D43 marksman rifle. MD-34 get attacked by the half-track head on. If, of course, they had enough veterans from the interconnected rounds and had timed them, they could actually probably take out the half-track, but current circumstances, the only thing to do is just, you know, work soon. Jaegers versus the Sappers. Ground western point here. Puma moving towards the centre.
Eager for the off.
Focusing eastwards, we've got the Puma moving westwards. Assault section moving upwards, got the Jaegers hiding about there. Puma shoots. Misses. 6-pound gun sitting up there. Ashablois continue to remain in a pretty precarious position here versus Stark, who is taking up. They can soon begin pushing out tanks, which is obviously going to be a big headache for Ashablois and the Germans. But Ashablois keeps fighting like a trooper. Eastern points being seized there again, taking advantage of Stark's tactical approach here to just hit where Stark isn't. Mines here not finished. Lucky for Ashablois. And Ashablois is quite some time from able to take up for any kind of armor. We'll have to go for the Kedmir, because there are more Pumas, though most players will never commit to more than one Puma. Assault's going to move here. Jaegers definitely need to get out of that one fast before they get, well, knocked out of this world. There we go, contact force. And this only one section backed up by Sappers. There's actually one here by Ashablois in the east. And for covering up. No upgrades in the Sturmtune here. Sappers chanting in, they're taking fire there. Stark, meanwhile, is not far from a Chrome. Could also try and go straight for the Comet here. That could be an option in the current state of affairs here. But certainly just getting out crumbles would not be a bad idea either, a bad choice. Troops are suppressed then. Puma going here for the half-tech. Almost got it. 6-pound shoots, punches straight through the Puma side armor. Just moves ahead. They've realized he can't keep up. Give an opportunity to maybe take out the half-tech inside Stark space. And execution right in front of everyone. No, just backs off. Okay. Close one though. Close one. 6-pound being hauled back. Jaeger, Stormpunch being westwards. Crom on the way there for Stark. And the 11th Armored. Sappers there. Not like that might just look like it. Assault section to Stormpunch is the Jaegers. Stormpunch being mentioned from the Jaegers. Technically go down, but there you go. White phosphorus grenade right in the midst of them. Prevent them from firing. Since they're caught up in the white phosphorus. From there you go. Half to them down. Need to retreat here, or else this could be some heavy, painful wipes there for Ashablois. And there you go. East of the Sappers around with MD-34. Puma need repairs. Got the eastern fuel point there, reconnected to the Germans' supply line once more. Cromwell almost on to start. Almost done.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
MG-34 there for A.
Cromwell gun tank ready for action.
Some players just call themselves so many things at times. So usually they have to pick a name and then stick to it. Sometimes it's difficult to do. MD-34 holding up here. Got the centre. Now the MD-34 continuing from again. Stark meanwhile has yet to bother with any machine guns at all. Could of course I think consider them quite helpful. Jaegers was the section in the centre. Sections advancing, straight into the Volkskandies here. Still Stark continues to maintain strong map here versus Ashablois. Cromwell ready, half it's been fixed up. East side here we've got White Phosphorus grenade chucked at the Volkskandies. Very good, thumbs up. At the same time in the east we've got Silicon in further disrupt the Germans attempt to defend the centre. I'll contest at least while they're being routed. Again the White Phosphorus really nasty stuff. Puma there, moving in. Gets good at the Cromwell rear, close to Veteran 2-1 there. The kid was going up as well for Ashablois. Stark back to control most of the map. There we got 191 versus 497. Huge difference in victory points between the two sides after the catch the 34 there. What will Ashablois do here versus Stark? What will their plan be? For catching the second out in the open and suppressing them. Storming the advance as well. There you go. Got White Phosphorus grenade again. Cheeky. But effective there. Go half track rush in a bold maneuver here, to be honest, by Stark. Lucky here that Ash didn't move in fast with the Puma, collect the punch to half track and take it out, but no, it doesn't get to do it. In fact, they're close to being knocked out. Cromwell moving ahead here. Sending a bit here, possibly. Puma landing several great hits in the Cromwell. In fact, close to T2 here. No Panther Fire, so able to hit the Cromwell there, though. Very lucky for Stark. Otherwise, that Cromwell would have been toast. Of course, then the Puma police have dealt with the further there. Go. Assault section just bite the dust here. Could even see another signal down there. Huge losses for Stark here. A huge punish. No, only one section down, which of course is still uncomfortable, but not quite as bad as losing two sections in a short amount of time. After the up support here, half L, Puma could maybe finish off. The Kednev takes it out there. So 2 losses here for Stark. This is actually a significant series of points then for Ashablois. I mean, Stark's still ahead in a lot of ways, but nonetheless getting like 2 kills like that in a short amount of time is pretty big. Smoke to the body with the Cromwell to assist the anti-tank getting out of there. Very nice push to take for the Puma here, but there's also Kednev by. Main gun out in the Cromwell. Main gun out. Oh, shot bounced at almost point blank range. That is lucky there. Now the pen train hit the Puma, gaining veteran too. Ashablois is hitting back here at Stark. Puma pursuing, but having a bit of hard time due to the Kednev for messing up with the pathing of the Puma. Yikes. That is incredibly lucky there for Stark. Entertainer, they almost takes out the Puma. Meanwhile, oh no. Pop smoke and then engages, gets the anti-tank recruit, but can't, I think, fully destroy it there. Still, heavy losses on both sides, but I would say overall, Ashablois came out ahead on that one. Stark has lost a lot of things. He's down to a few infantry scores. The Sappers plus the Cromwell. Meanwhile, Asher still has 2 machine guns like Kednev and multiple infantry scores. As always, infantry advantage is important, but certainly having support weapons to back them up is very handy. Ashablois takes swift to take advantage of this to quickly hit up all the big important points like the victory points here. So, thumbs up there to Ashablois. Puma, though, is in serious new repairs here. Asher's also trying to take up. We've got 2 Jaegers and a British assault force of quite significant size. Mines being laid down by George further make it hard here for Stark to move ahead. They're very good. Stark in comparison wasn't, I think, quite as great at laying down mines as they all attempted, but I didn't think really managed to finish it. So Puma, they're being fixed up. Repair ponies ready from the mechanized raiding headquarters. Thumbs up there. I'm guessing we're seeing the Schwer punted quarters here for Ashablois and the Germans. Almost got the some fuel point here, and we got another Cromwell for Stark. That's going to get further pressure to Ashablois. 2 tanks will certainly be quite the challenge for a single Puma to deal with.
There's a rather splendid Cromwell ready to
go. Second Cromwell ready. Assault section got the centre. Definitely should go for more infantry in there. At some point, might want to consider at least getting up 1 machine gun here as the Germans. Reinforcing healing, setting up. Puma good to go.
We're ready for orders.
Quite the match so far. Machine gun westwards. Other one covering up the fuel point there against any British incursions. Got the assault section very close to the ace level there. Sneaking about, and there goes second Cromwell good to go. Should link up with the first one though for maximum shock effect. Oh, smoke screen called in there. Very nice there by Stark. Thumbs up. Very nice. Cromwell up to support the eastern side, all moving in on the west. Bit of skirmishing in the east. On the west side, we got the Cromwell moving ahead. Called in another artillery strike here. Machine gun routed. If Gab doesn't hit his own Cromwell with the artillery though, that would be a bit unfortunate for Stark. Great, there's an Ashablois there, we can lands a hit. And again, everything's trying to find out. Our time with lots of abilities. At the same time, nice flank here, realising that Stark's pushing pretty hard aggressively in there. Asher's looking to flank behind.
We're losing a capture point.
Very nice. Though without Panzerfaust can't fully exploit this was the Cromwell so, a bit of a threat there. Threatens the section on the fuel point there. Cromwell very low in health here. Puma pushing in, which got the other Cromwell in there. Racing forward, gets in a nice kill there. Mine spotted, being swept. Puma misses it, the other Crom there, lands a hit, halfway to virtually fleeing here. Machine gun suppressed the section, got another smoke screen called in here. Calling in a lot of those. An east here point being seized for the section.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Puma on the move. Stand by for the Cromwell.
Take a point from us.
Another taken for Stark. Very good, that's something I think necessary at this point.
Hammer tactics are ready.
Nope, oh, the entertainment gonna still get recruited. Looks like Stark might have forgotten about it. Perhaps the green colours make it blend in too much with the terrain. Camouflage proving to be too good. Oh, the wit. Nice use of white phosphorus again there by Stark. Thumbs up.
A new infantry section is ready for
And
battle.
a gammon bomb to deter any pursuers. Also, of course, signals to Ashablois that Stark has committed to hammer tactics. Might expect the Comet next. That's also a crucial bit of information, say, you know, given out there. The question, of course, is then to Stark can easily handle that information there to Ashablois or not. Grenades also prepared there. Second one was been locked out in return though. Cromwell moving forward here. Two of the cannons nearby. Second one's been wiped out here. Oh, it hits a mine leg down by Ashablois sometime earlier. That is pretty bad. They're starting to get the Cromwell to safety now. Assault taking more suppressed as German infantry pours in, backed up with the Puma and light heading Air Force. Cromwell up finally. Remember, there's an entertainment they're recruiting it as well. They could call in artillery here if Stark had the mission to be a great target for artillery. They've got a regular milk bomb here. Narrowly was about to hit something instead flubs it. Section being routed here. Heavy damage being inflicted here to Stark. Section there. Eastern point then being grabbed. Cromwell looks like going to try and flank around here. Asher's centre force. Catching the Jaegers there who have nowhere to defend themselves against a Cromwell cruiser tank. Fixing up the first one there. Some time to go from the corner Comet here. And we got the Panther IV Molgate on the way for Ashablois. Certainly quite the delay, but having finally regained control of the map here, they are able of doing so here versus Stark. Very good. Very good. Cromwell eastwards. Second one also good to go. We got 91 versus 412. Ashablois still significantly behind Stark here in terms of victory points, but at least it's doing something to rectify that. Even if it's going to take a little while here to equalise the two. Full to the right of the Cromwell, 6 kills, very close. Veteran one, going to push up people straight into Unit 4. They are thwarted, their attempt halted. In the west, same story unfolds as another Unit focused on the assault section there. Stark's men are going nowhere except to the local cemetery. White Fast was hit, hoped to buy time, but they got the up Manhunt Grenade on them. Cromwell coming up towards the centre here. Smoke down there to cover against the machine gun, very good. Puma the Ked now for Panther moving up here. Puma shoots, misses, Cromwell in there, need to be careful. Good hit, Panther gets a good hit as well. 6-pounder gun ready. West side here, we got section trying to push for the western victory point again. East one claimed by the Red Chase. We got 368 versus 91. Cromwell shouting against the Jaegers, looking to crash them, looking to murder them. Second looking to retreat by way. Damage inflicted. Phantom moving ahead here. Shots fired and missed. A fatal mistake there by start. Cromwell for some reason dashed straight into the Academy of the Puma and the Panther 4, and other Cromwell is also in deep trouble now. 6 Pentagon can clear out with the Jaegers. This is huge for Stark. Hugely terrible. And now he's trying to get the other Cromwell to safety, but Ashablois is on the pursuit of the Puma and the Panther 4. Almost got the Cromwell there. Shot bounces. Puma goes for the kill and gets it. A huge tactical and strategic loss here for Stark. Not only did they lose the fight here for the carve point effectively, but they lost 2 tanks in the process. That is a slap in the face. And Stark is going for the comment, but losing 2 Cromwells of this is not good at all. Unless you're the Germans, in which case it's amazing. Troops reinforcing, healing. Comet slowly on the way there. Academy sending eastwards. Try on the way there for Ashablois. Not looking great here for Stark. Not looking great. Western point being seized here. Bit of quiet there. Comet almost on here for Stark. Ashablois with the Panther 4 setting out. Another trot on the way here for Ashablois. Battle with headquarters healing. I suppose there's also a small off chance they're going to try and go for King Tiger next. That'll certainly be, I think, a sign of extreme confidence in Ashablois that they got this. And certainly, having just destroyed 2 tanks and they've done all the other damage, I could certainly see the logic behind it. In the end, of course, not just the 2 Cromwells, but also the 6 pounder guns. Again, really nasty losses there for Stark. Karma, though, is definitely a challenge there for Ashablois. Definitely a chance, but they have 2 of the K-maps on top of the Panther and the Puma, so not necessarily that big of a challenge either. At least not an impossible one. Not an impossible one. Panther moving out. Shoots and hits the truck instead. And so we've got the infantry force, the sappers. West RT, a firm line defense is well by Ashablois. Fairly firm anyways. Section being blasted into the Panther 4, 6 kills at 71. 91 was 299. Section about to get wiped out. Stark is frantically looking for some sort of weak spot here in Ashablois' lines of defense. Somewhere they could open up a gap, then push through and do some serious damage to the Germans. Meanwhile, east side there is turning into an utter disaster. As one section gets wiped out, the other one is also at a high likelihood of getting annihilated and sent to the land of Nod on a permanent basis.
HQ is under attack. Typical enemy trick, isn't it?
Pushing into the base here.
UKF
not to extend though, but certainly also probably hope to get lucky and get some additional wipes in here versus Stark. Cromwell there, of course, now forced to rush back into the base. And of course, this could also be another reason actually for the base is just to force this reaction so that, again, the front line is now without tank support. Our way though. Cheeky, I think, and there you go, common engages, but now this Academy was nearby, 6 looking wiped out. Situation continues to deteriorate here for the British Army. Okay, now for Veteran T2. Going to the section.
Enemy causing
And
trouble.
a damage
Trying to
engine.
take one of our points.
Asher there, perhaps got a bit too confident as a start. Puma getting Victory 3 finally, but won't be able to celebrate that. He's about to get sent up to meet the quiet invisible. A stinging blow there to Ashablois, but overall Ashablois still in a very strong position here as a Stark. Still holds most of the map now. Is bleeding out Stark's victory points. Has the larger amount of infantry and support weapons.
We're losing a capture point.
Overall, odds for Stark are still looking pretty grim. Looking pretty grim. I mean, they do have the Comet, and it does confer some amount of advantage here, but I don't think that's going to be a sufficient one. Coming shoots, murder. Popping a fire here. Again, it bounces off the Comet's frontal armor here. Fix on the Panzer 4. Comet setting out. Engaging. Shooting. Missing. Jaeger's getting match C3. Captain bounces. Off the Comet's arm. Panzer 4 moving out. Double comes on the Comet. Panda 4 is on the move once more. We got an M10 on the way to the start of the Achilles. Note, this applies to both versions of the M10, both the one with the 3-inch gun, but also the one with the 17-pounder gun. They're both known as the Achilles by the British.
Comet tank ready and waiting.
Fun fact. Mines here in the west, very good by Ashablois. Thumbs up, we got 86% of 12. And 10 halfway done, and I think Ashablois at this point is likely just playing for the King Tiger because the Academy, they could just go for more Panzer IVs or a Panther or whatever, but looks like Ashablois is planning for the Königstiger, the Tiger 2, or the Tiger B. I had a lot of names like that. Panther engaging, worth noting, no kill matching and hits the Panther 4. Combinating forwards here, directed in the Panther 4.
A capture point is being overrun.
Focus counting with Jaeger support. Panther shoots and misses the M10. Sappers round it.
We've 200 points remaining.
Engine ticking over.
M10 there with a light about damage dealt and taken, but nothing, you know, serious. Comet on the move once more. Only 3 kills, I mentioned 1. It's not like the Comet's been able to really do a lot here versus Ashablois so far either, so not great there for Stark either in that sense. We got 86 on 88. Ashablois is rapidly closing the gap between the two, and meanwhile is also rapidly advancing towards the King Tiger. Stark here seems a bit hesitant as to what to do next. They are confined, they are constrained by Ashablois. Looks like we're going to see a hard push towards the west here, trying to hope to catch Ashablois off guard and just make a breakthrough here. Got mines down here to help deal with any potential breakthroughs by the British. Thumbs up there to Ashablois. East side might like to be more open to such a push, but it seems like Ashablois going to start the west is where they want to go. We got mines to help deal with mines at least. Very good. Very good. And this is the Germans, in which case that's obviously a nuisance. Set. They're also not far away from the sector assault. King Tiger's getting ever closer. We are talking less than a minute here, and then the Tiger 2 is going to hit Stark like a ton of bricks made in, I don't know, Hamburg. Those hit really hard. That's right. Coming on and getting their smokes from down there. Thumbs up to Stark. Oh, did he actually fire a white phosphorus shell there instead of a red one? Anyways, coming up and back up with the M10 directed to the Panther 4 here. Puts the S-Port pulled in 9, and there you go. Got the Tiger 2 ready here. Comet hits a mine, and there you go. S-Port pulled in the Luftwaffe, swoops in. The finish of the British, and there you go. Comet knocked out. M10 is barely operable as well. His Stark is toast. King Tiger on the west side here. We got 125-86. It's chaos, it's pandemonium, it's chaos as Deutschland strikes. GG, game over. Loss here for Stark, victory for Ashablois. A nice fight here. Strong start for the British, but I think they failed to get out some tools to help us maintain the map towards the match in Northwest. Ashablois fought fervently, sharply, and wisely, and turned the game around steadily but surely in their favour. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something fun. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment, and of course do consider donating or pledging on Patreon. Links in the description. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope you all tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.